What's up, guys? Welcome to B Sports Picks. We're currently on a 13-0 run. These are all the free picks that I've been throwing out. 13 straight winners. If you don't believe me, go check out the videos that I've been creating. There's a bunch of people that are excited, comments and stuff like that inside the videos. Also, we had about 56 people subscribe yesterday, so I would really appreciate if we can cross 4,800 today. And make sure you take a second, click on subscribe. Also, if you haven't done so, check out the free picks. The link is in the description. That way, if I don't have time to create a video, you'll still get the free picks. I'm going to throw out one very strong play that I have for today as well. I did the research. There was about 5 games that I really like. Out of those 5 plays that I like, I threw out to the VIP already. Out of those 5, I have one very strong parlay that I'm putting in on this video. So very quickly, let me just talk about what happened yesterday. I wanted the Clippers to win by -4.5. They ended up winning by 17. So that was a very easy win. The other one, we just wanted Boston to win straight up. They ended up winning by 14. So again, that was a straight up easy win. Now, one of the first things I like to look at in the morning, I have a scraper that goes out specifically for this, and it gives me a back-to-back report. Basically, it's telling me there's 10 total games today, and out of those 10 games, there's only two teams that are playing back-to-back. So what this means is that they're tired. Either they traveled or didn't travel, doesn't matter. It just means that they played yesterday, and that's the big indication here. So you can see rest advantage is towards Washington over here, and then rest advantage is towards Phoenix because Brooklyn played yesterday and the Kings. So as you saw right here yesterday, we took Boston to beat the Kings, and the Kings, you can see, obviously did not travel. They're not going to travel, but they are tired because they played yesterday and they lost. Now, this is called the line move tool. Basically, what this does is it tells you, if you don't know how to read lines and stuff like that, that's going to be inside the Sharp Edge. You can get this for 2 weeks for free. The link is in the description for that. But inside the Sharp Edge, I'm going to show you the other stuff that I have for that. But inside of there, like I said, it's going to be a separate tool called the line move tool. You can take a screenshot of this if you want, but basically it tells you where to start looking because the books are adjusting for a reason. And I explained this pretty much in every video where I say I look at the line move. Not every play is based on line move, but it's very clear indications. So, for example, right here, it's the Nets and the Wizards to go on the under because it's going 2-3-1 was a start, and now it's 2-2-5. So you can see that's a 6-point line move. So this is actually very important because this tells you where the books are adjusting to. So, for example, these are not the final plays, obviously. This is just strong stuff where you want to look at. So I'm going to give you just one example. Right here, the Nets and the Wizards, they started at a 2-3-1 was the opening line. And now it's currently at a 2-2-5. Let me zoom in a little bit so you can see that better. So 2-3-1, it's currently 2-2-5. So that's a 6-point line move. Now, what this tells you is that you want to start looking at the under 2-3-1 over here. So pay attention to this number over here. And it tells, and also pay attention to this green number here. So 2.5 points, 3 points, and so on. I'm not going to go through every single one of these, but this is one of the tools that I like to look at early in the morning. Now, once I already kind of have an idea, as you saw, Brooklyn is, so now you start stacking the stuff up, okay? So, for example, Brooklyn is tired. They got tired legs. Now you start looking at the under, the over and the under was 2-3-1. Now it's 2-2-5. You start stacking this stuff up and you start realizing what the hell is going on, okay? So now I'm going to go into the dashboard here and I want to just kind of start looking around to see what I see. So, for example, right here, the Spurs should win by 3 points, but they do have Wembanyama that's out. I'm not going to go through every single one of these, but it gives you the projected score. So this is just something to keep in mind. So, for example, here, the Cavaliers are supposed to win by 14. The Knicks are supposed to win by 5. The Magic is supposed to win by 4, and so on. I'm not going to go through every single one of these, and I'll tell you exactly which ones I'm looking at. So, for example, here, the Suns versus the Kings. Now that I see this, the Suns are actually at home. So the Kings did travel, so that's good to know. They played yesterday and they traveled. They went from Sacramento to Phoenix. So that's probably like a 2-hour flight. So you got to keep that into consideration. 120 to 109 is the projected score, and then so on, okay? So this is good to look at. Now we go into this other tool called the Sharp Plays. And these are not final plays. These are just indications. It gives you a lot of reasoning why you should be looking at this stuff. So, for example, Golden State, it gives you the green background. Golden State and Thunder, under 229. The Suns, -4.5. I'm not going to go through all of these, but this is just the tool. that gives you the indications on the games that you should be looking at. Now, once we already have an idea, so let me go right back to this. I'm going to be looking at this one here, the under 225. Don't quote me on this one because I'm going to be changing the line as an alternate line, but it gives you, this is the reasoning why this play even came up right here. And then the other one is going to be the Suns at a -4.5. Again, don't quote me on that line. I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm going with. Now once we already kind of pick and choose what we're looking at, then we want to go deeper into each of those games. So, for example, this one is the Brooklyn Nets and the Wizards. Like I mentioned, the Brooklyn Nets are tired. And the projected score right here, you can see if you add this up, 112 and a 114, that's a 226. So now we're going to look at this. We look at the over-unders. And like I mentioned, the opening was 231. It's currently at a 225. So the projection is almost exactly at that 225 number. So what we want to do here is we want to look to see where the line is going. So for example, here's 80% of the bets, 80% of the money's going in on the over, and yet the line is dropping. So this is called a reverse line move. And this is basically what people consider fading the public. And what this means is that basically very strong indication that the sharp money is coming in on the under. Now, if we go to the expert insights over here, you can see that Washington Wizards are 5-1 on the under whenever they start as an underdog, which obviously they start as underdogs a lot because they suck. But today they're starting as an underdog, and they've gone 83% on the under in the last 6 games. All right, so for the first leg of this is going to be the Brooklyn Nets and the Wizards on the under. I'm going to tell you exactly which line I'm taking, but bear with me. There's one other leg to this parlay. All right, next game I'm going to look at is the Suns versus the Kings. Like I mentioned, the Kings are also on a back-to-back, so they're tired, and they traveled. So now we got the Suns at a 120 projected score versus a 109, so they should be winning by 9 points. As you can see, the line did start at a 11.5. It's currently at a 12.5. What this means is that the line is being pushed towards the Suns. Whenever it's going, giving points to any team, that means that the sharp money is coming in on that other team. If you don't understand line moves, you can go to the link in the description that says learn from us, and I explain all this a lot deeper. Now we're going to go to the spread and betting action. You can see 69% of the bets and 72% of the money is coming in on Sacramento. And again, that's going to be a reverse line move because the line is shifting towards Phoenix. So the money is coming in and the bets are coming in on the Kings, yet the line is shifting towards the Suns. Now, one very important thing is this ATS trends. What this means is that if a team sucks or if they're good, then you look at the ATS trends. What this means is that if they win, do they cover the spread? Or if they lose, do they cover the spread? Not only is it win-loss record, it has to be against the spread. I'm not going to get into too much of this detail here, but just know that whenever the Suns do win, they end up covering the spread 70% of the time. And then if you look over here, the Kings actually don't cover the spread. They end up losing and not covering 60% of the time. Now we go into these expert insights. You can see that the Suns are 19-2. Ever since they got Booker back, they've been very, very, very good. You can see the Phoenix Suns in their last 21 games as a favorite have hit this line 90% of the time. One last thing I'll talk about here is the injuries. We've been fading the hell out of the Kings because they have Sabonis is injured, Levine is injured, and they traveled, and they lost yesterday. So there's a lot of indications that Phoenix should win this game pretty easily. Look at their record. It's crazy. 8-26 compared to a 19-14 record. And also, like I mentioned, Phoenix has Booker back. So this is actually a big positive for Phoenix. So last few things I'll say before I give you the exact play that I'm going with is we have 5 different plays. Like I mentioned, actually, I'm looking at it now. It's 6, but one of them is already shared. So 5 additional plays that's already thrown out in the VIP this morning. And then I still have to go through my player props for the points, rebounds, and assists, which is for basketball. So once I get that done, I'll throw that out in the VIP as well. If you haven't done so, make sure you click on free picks also so you don't miss out. If I don't create these videos, you'll still get the free pick. Now, like I mentioned, if I don't create a video, you'll still get the free pick if you sign up for free in the link in the description. If you want all our plays, which means all of these and whatever else comes up the rest of the day, as far as NHL and things like that, check that out. Links in the description for VIP. All right, guys. Normally, I don't throw out these offers often, but we're on a super hot streak right now, and NBA is actually one of my best sports where we win a lot of money. So I'm going to be offering this a one-time deal for the first 10 people only. So basically, what my normal price for 1 month is 197. I'm going to give you that price, but for 3 months. So you're literally getting 2 months for free. So the price of 1 month, you get the rest of the NBA season for 3 months. That means you get all our plays, all our props, and all the sports. So the 3 month package would be 224 for that, and that would be a permanent discount, meaning that if you stay active, you'll still get this price no matter how long you stay. Also, there's an option here for 4 months interest-free payments if you use Afterpay. All right, guys. So here's the exact play: 237 on the under, 237.5 on the under for the Brooklyn Nets and the Washington Wizards. And then I'm taking the Phoenix Suns at a -3.5. If you parlay both of these together, you can see right here, I was able to get this on FanDuel for a -150. Thank you so much, guys. One last little thing I'll say is that the streaks is not a big deal. Streaks are very exciting. They're very good, but obviously it's not going to go on forever. So this is actually a very strong play. I really love this play, and it should hit pretty easily. But if it doesn't hit, it doesn't matter. We just keep going. We keep pushing forward. We did hit 4,700 subscribers. If you haven't done so, make sure you subscribe, check that extra link, and click on notification and subscribe. Thank you so much. Let's have a great day.